Hi there, my name's Lou Hogan. I work for a very new company called AG360 and we have just launched a very exciting new software product for sheep and cattle producers in Australia. I'm also a sheep and cattle producer myself, so I understand the challenges that producers face in trying to have a successful business when we face such an uncertain future. And in the past we've used our experience and our historical experience to inform the future and make decisions about what might be coming up in terms of the weather and how that will flow through to production on our farms. But that's a very imprecise way to plan for the future, and that's the real power of AG360, is that it uses a very powerful weather data set that forecasts the weather out for 6 months. And that of course then drives soil moisture and pasture growth on our farms and then animal growth as well. And that's really the crux of what AG360 can do for livestock producers, is provide a really accurate prediction about what's coming up in the next 6 months. And that of course improves our management skill and our ability to run a successful business. So just to give you a little bit of an insight about how AG360 works, we're able to record what's happened on the farm in the past in terms of the number of animals, the treatments they've received, the pastures that you have and what condition they're in. And we combine that information with a weather forecast, as I said, that's been customised to your particular location, up to within 5 kilometres of where your farm actually is located. And we use the weather information and your historical farm information and combine that with really powerful predictive models to estimate the future rainfall, how that will flow through to soil moisture, and in turn how that soil moisture will grow pasture and the quality of that pasture. And of course that then flows through to how quickly our animals will grow, the carcass traits that they will display when they're slaughtered, and can help us to inform animal health and ensure that our reproduction processes are optimised for both calving and lambing. We're really fortunate within the AG360 company to have a long-running relationship with a team of very, very talented scientists at the University of New England who have developed these powerful predictive models and then worked with software developers to turn that into a platform that's really easy for producers to use, to record information and to receive predictive information moving forward. So one of our real strengths is that we're going to have an ongoing relationship with those scientists so we can continue to improve the product and ensure that it's providing the most accurate predictions possible for livestock producers. So I'm just going to show you some graphics now that give you an idea of some of the outputs that come from the AG360 platform. You can see here that we can predict rainfall up to 6 months in advance, and we can put a probability around that, the likelihood of that rainfall, because we know nothing about a weather forecast is certain. But this weather forecast is one of the most accurate available anywhere in the world, and we're using it in AG360 to make our predictions of soil moisture, which you can see here, so we can predict how much moisture is going to be stored in the soil as a result of that rainfall right through to a metre's depth. And this of course then flows through to giving you a prediction around how much pasture is going to be on your property. And in doing that we take account of the animals that you've got on the property, how much pasture they require to meet their production targets, whether that's growth and finishing for slaughter or calving and lambing. We take all that into account and tell you really how much pasture is going to be available after all those requirements have been met. The other thing that we can do is provide you with information about health risks that your sheep and cattle might face. So particularly in the sheep area, we know that sheep are very vulnerable to worms and blowflies, and those things are partly driven by the weather and also partly driven by characteristics of the sheep themselves and the pastures that they're grazing. So once again, we use really powerful models to predict and give you warnings when there's a fly strike wave coming or that there's likely to be worms that need treatment in your sheep. So the really unique thing about AG360 and why it's so powerful for livestock producers is that it provides one set of railway tracks for data that's collected and stored historically for the farm, which is really important for your compliance but also for your record keeping. But we have this single set of railway tracks that combines that with predictions about the future. We also have a powerful set of problem-solving tools, so if you find that your animals are not going to meet their target weight, we can help you to calculate the supplementary feed that they might require. If they're facing a health challenge, we can show you how much protection they'll receive from different veterinary treatments, and that's also very valuable in problem-solving. We have really secure data sharing techniques within the software platform, so you can share information about what's happening on the farm with your trusted advisors or other people in the supply chain. Once you've stored this data in AG360 for your property, it can be used by so many people that you work with in the supply chain. So, for example, you might share information about how quickly animals are growing with your processor. If you're forward contracting lambs or cattle for slaughter, you might share information with your livestock, the person who provides you with chemical inputs or material inputs for the farm, so they know in advance what your requirements are, and they can aggregate that up with other customers across the region and make sure that they have the right products in the store when you go into the store. And of course your farm management advisor or your livestock advisor or your genetics advisor can also take advantage of the information in AG360. So our strategy for going to market with AG360 is that we want to be able to partner with people who work in the livestock supply chain and can see that they can add value to their business by using AG360 with their customers, and that they can also improve their service offering to those customers. So if we can identify strategic partners who would like to work with us and add value to the whole agricultural supply chain through using AG360 with their clients, we're really keen to hear from you. And there's also an opportunity for those strategic partners to invest with us in the future of AG360 and continue to build it as a powerful tool, not only for the livestock sector, but for the agricultural sectors more generally. So AG360 is available for sheep and cattle producers at the moment at a cost of $550 per annum. So it's a very reasonably priced product. It's easy to set up, easy to use, and as we say, you can easily share information with your trusted advisors. So please go onto the website and take a look at AG360.